Hey friends and foes, welcome to Brushwork Podcast. My name is Stephanie Scott, and today we're talking about the YouTube project. Approximately 3 months ago, I set out on 3 major projects or experiments in hopes to create more evergreen content here on the internet. I have been spending a lot of time on Instagram over the last couple of years, trying to make it more brand appropriate, trying to make it more consistent, trying to keep it bright and fun, and ultimately trying to get my paintings sold through it. But lately I've been like, Instagram is great, but the content lasts for a hot second and then it disappears, and it feels like my work is just going for no one, for nowhere. Not for no one. I have approximately 1,500 followers on Instagram, which is awesome, but honestly, only about 60 of them really see my content on the regular. And I think that is very typical. That ratio is very typical of every Instagram account. Regardless, the content I produce for Instagram is not very searchable. It's not easy to find older things. It's not fun to look through when you're trying to find, I wonder if Stephanie has that painting from, 2021 that she made and maybe it's still available, and I'm gonna look through her Instagram. You're never gonna find it, right? You would have to go to my website for that. And so I was brainstorming with myself and I was like, Stephanie, what are some other platforms I could be on that are way more searchable, that have everlasting effects, and are just, they're evergreen. They're here to stay. I found a couple of them. The first one I found a couple months ago was my mailing list. I had been talking to my coach, Brittany Torres. She's like, don't sleep on the mailing list, Stephanie. You really need to put a lot of effort into it. And I was like, you're totally right. So I've been working on that experiment, and I kind of laid it out in a previous episode of Brushwork here. You can go find it. I'll actually link it into the comments for you. But for the next one, I was thinking, YouTube is pretty stellar. So hence we have the email marketing experiment, and now we have the YouTube project. I have one more project that I will tell you about in the future. You'll get a sneak peek of that next week when I interview Art Studio Life, but today we're going to focus on YouTube. I'm going to tell you today about my plan, what my thoughts were when I was researching the platform, how I personally use the platform of YouTube in just my daily artistic life here, and why I thought this is the website to go on. For starters, if you're interested in taking a look at what I've got so far on the platform, you can find me at Stephanie Scott Art, no dot this time, on YouTube. That's my channel. I have 16 videos up right now, and my primary goal as I started with the YouTube journey was to get all of my back episodes of Brushwork, which at this point is coming up on 50 episodes, holy cats, and get them onto YouTube. I wanted to have each episode have a great cover. I wanted to have something interesting to look at while you're listening to the episode, because when I'm recording these episodes, I'm not recording visuals. So I had to add a visual onto it. And I wanted to have a way for you to engage with my art and my website like you would when you're listening to said podcast right now. In the past, 3 years ago, I created this channel. And I never kept up with it because I was trying to make these speed paintings, and I've kept these up in live for you because I wanted to kind of see what it was like when I first started versus where I'm at now. When I first started, I did these abstract geometric speed paintings where I would take little clips of every brushstroke I would ever make and then speed it up and put some lo-fi music to it. And honestly, I like them. I think they're interesting to watch, but they took hours and hours, like probably 8 hours for me to edit. I was also very new to editing, so that's a whole problem in itself. So I did 2 of those, and then I was like, this is too much work. It's making me paint so slow. I cannot be a video editor. I need to be a painter. So I scrapped the idea, and I was like, all right, I'll just keep these 2 that I've made up, and then I'm going to keep on going. 3 years go by. I don't make any other content for the YouTube channel. And then finally I'm like, all right, it's time to put the podcast up on the channel. I started with my very first episode, which was how to support your artistic friends for free. And I've learned a lot about video editing since then. I think it takes me approximately 20 minutes to get the video edited, which is a far cry from the 8 hours it used to take me. I started taking B-roll footage of beautiful light scenes in my studio, usually sunlight on the paintbrushes or on my palette, something that just looks aesthetically pleasing and is fun to look at. The wind moving the leaves to get some dappled sunlight. It's really quite lovely. And so I started putting those over my episodes. Now, when I look at my episodes, which I have 13 up currently, I have a little bit of a schedule here. Because I'm trying to catch up with 50, episodes in the bank here. I'm like, okay, I have got to post these more than just once a week, or else I'll never catch up. So I've been posting every 3 days or so. What this is doing is, one, getting me known as a consistent poster here on YouTube, but also it's been giving a lot of new content to people who might not have been listening to Brushwork previously. It's very exciting. So by the time this episode goes up on YouTube, several weeks will have passed, probably 2 months that will have passed, and I can't wait to see the differences in what my skills are like, what my viewership is like on YouTube and things like that. I think it's going to be very fun. One thing I'm noticing is that I'm getting very few views on these podcast episodes. The most views I have are, let's see, I got 31 views on how to make more art in less time. And I posted that 3 weeks ago. Now you're thinking, Stephanie, 31 views on a YouTube video is terrible. And you would be correct. It is terrible. However, 31 views for my podcast currently is excellent. I usually have an average viewership of like 40 people, and 31 is on par for my listeners for Brushwork. Hey, all 41 of you. I appreciate you all. And as time goes by, that's going to grow. But now that these episodes are up on YouTube, they have really clickbaity titles. Sometimes it's the title of the episode, sometimes it's different. And they'll be very searchable. Whereas when I look up Brushwork Podcast on Google, sometimes you see my website and sometimes you don't. So the SEOs here are a lot more powerful, and I'm going to get just a lot more exposure this way. I'm very stoked. Another cool thing about YouTube is that you can stream on YouTube, and you all know that I stream on Twitch. And I'm like, should I also stream on this platform? It's kind of fun, just to mix it up a bit. Every once in a while I get comments on my videos. Every once in a while I get people talking to me, oh, hey, I found you through YouTube. And I'm like, wow, I only have 13 episodes up currently, and this is already doing the work for me. I really started looking into evergreen content, I guess 2 months ago, because something happened. I had been just messing around on my phone, taking some time off on the couch, right? And I started getting a lot of notifications from Pinterest. It was like left, right, and center notifications about people saving this image that I had posted 5 or 6 years ago, a long time. It was a sketchbook that I had made. If you don't know this about me, I used to hand bind sketchbooks and sell them. I no longer do that, but except for just myself. But I had taken a photo of one of these sketchbooks and put it on Pinterest, and it was getting so many hits. And I was just like baffled. I was like, what? Who is finding this picture? Then I was like, oh, these platforms, they can have a resurgence. They can come back from the dead here, right? It's not even dead. It's like a library. Now I've started changing the way I'm making content. I'm no longer making it just for the right now. If I want to do for the right now, that's on Instagram. But now I'm making content that can really, really last and bring people to said website, said post, said blog post or YouTube video over and over again. And that's really delicious for, making more sales on art, which is what I ultimately want. In the future, I'm hoping to start recording vlogs and other just casual content that is outside of brushwork. But I have so many videos to make right now of past brushwork episodes that I'm like, I have got to get going. We got to focus on this. My perfectionist coach, life coach Baker, she's like, Stephanie, if you want to do a bunch of things, you need to focus on one thing. Otherwise, you're just chasing cats and you'll never catch any of them. And it'll be a sad day. So we're focusing on one, and it's great. And we love that. Some of the things I've learned while making these videos is that the cover image is really important. The thumbnail, it needs to be super legible. I am able to get it into my brand colors, which is nice, but it doesn't necessarily have to be in the brand colors. You want people to click on them. Right now I'm using a template of the same photo of me talking to the microphone so that you know that this is a brushwork episode and not some sort of other content that I have got. Whenever I do an interview, I'm trying to get a picture of their image as the cover image. I've done this, I guess twice now, and that's very fun. And it's great. What I love about interviews is that other people share the videos that I've been making. Which is great, especially since they tend to be longer, because I can talk with people for freaking ever. I have a interview to edit right after I record this podcast that is very, very long, and I'm excited because it was such a good conversation. Other things that are great about YouTube is that you can take the videos you make and embed them onto your website. So anytime I have a post about brushwork, I can just take that video and it's already made, it's beautiful, it's interesting to watch, and abracadabra, more content for the internet. We love it. We love recycling things we've already made. YouTube only recently started allowing podcasts onto their platform as podcasts, not just as videos. What I like about YouTube is that I can tag each video as a podcast episode and it'll treat it as thus, which makes it a little bit more searchable, a little bit easier to find. I'm not just talking to the void here. And it's really nice. I wish they would take the videos from my RSS feed, but whatever. It's fine. It's fine. Another thing that I'm going to do in the future here is connect these videos to Spotify, which allows you to play videos through their platform. I don't know if Apple does this yet. They might not. I need to look into it, but hey, that's something more to research. Another great thing about what I'm doing here is I'm also trying to make good graphics for each podcast using Canva, right? I'm using Canva to make interesting posts so I can put it onto my Instagram account. And every time I make a new video, I'm talking about it on my social media, on my mailing list. And I'm trying to get people to come back and look at older episodes. One way YouTube has changed the way I make podcast episodes is now I'm more conscious about taking video. When I am just out and about, when I'm looking at clips, if I see something gorgeous in my studio and I'm like, the light here is so stunning, I'm like, okay, gotta get my camera out, gotta take a video of it, making more video content and just capturing more things on the daily. A rule of thumb I like to follow is, would this make a cool photo? Then it's probably a great video. We love the aesthetics. I'm also trying to make more content that captures video from, say, Art Book Club, right? Where Visual Nomad and I chat about art books that we've been reading. And that's been fun too. The trick is learning how to edit the videos separately. I'm going to be honest, I don't have all my systems down yet for it. It's still a bit of a struggle, but every Monday, which is today when I'm recording this, I record my podcast episode and then I make my new YouTube videos. It's quite a fun system and it takes a little bit of time. It definitely takes computer memory. Luckily, I got some upgrades there, and it's top tier. If you are thinking about making a YouTube video of your own, you should try it. I highly recommend it, and it's better to start now than, in a year from now, just because you were afraid to start. What I hope for the channel, what I hope for YouTube is that I'm able to expand my brushwork audience, that I hope I'm able to continue to build community, to continue to build people coming to my website, and continuing to look at my paintings and maybe commissioning me. That's the ultimate goal here. I really like making these videos, and I feel like I'm gaining a lot of skills that I didn't have before, especially in marketing. Marketing my work, being able to speak more clearly about what I make, educating people on, the practices of being an artist, which is basically the point of brushwork here. And it's been a lot of fun. And I think when you're trying to be a content creator and you're trying to be an artist and you're trying to sell your work, you need to be looking for what things are bringing you a lot of happiness and joy and fun within the work, right? It's not all butterflies and rainbows over here, but it's invigorating. It keeps me focused. Like when I'm making a YouTube video, it's like I blink and time has gone by. I blink and a lot of time has gone by, and I've had so much fun doing it. As an artist myself, I love using YouTube as a tool, right? I will go to other creators and I will learn from them. I will learn from, maybe they're teaching a technical lesson on painting. Maybe they are creating music that I use on my live streams. Maybe they are reviewing other art books that I also want to read for Art Book Club. YouTube is a fantastic tool, a fantastic community, and I would really highly recommend you try it out. Try making a channel. I briefly talked about my goals here, and I wanted to talk about how I don't have a number goal. I don't have vanity metric goals. I'm not trying to get a certain amount of followers. I'm not trying to get a certain amount of view counts on each video I make. And I'm definitely not trying to get ad revenue right away. Although eventually that will be very nice to have. What I am trying to do, my goal for the moment, is to get all episodes of Brushwork onto YouTube and so that I'm only making one video a week alongside of my current episode that I put out every Tuesday. I think that's a delicious goal. I think I can hit it by the end of the year. Hopefully by the end of summer. Summer starts June 20th and we are 1 month away from that. But I think having goals like that, where it's like, here's the project goals versus here is the viewership goals. Of course, I will be delighted if any one of these videos starts, actually doing more than 100 views. That would be so cool. But that's not the goal, and I'm not going to obsess over it. Otherwise, I would lose my mind a bit. As you do. Coming up soon in Brushwork Podcast, I have an interview next week with Art Studio Life. I'm going to tell you about the third and final project that I have been starting a couple of months ago. You probably have an idea of what it is already, but we're just going to pretend like it's a secret. And then we have some more interviews coming up, and I'm really excited. If you are looking to find the brushwork elsewhere on the internet, you can find me at Instagram. I'm at stephaniescott.art. I am on YouTube at stephaniescottart, no dot. I am also, you can find my website, which is stephaniescott.art. It's basically the same all around. I'm trying to make a unified username handle front, but it's a little bit tricky because some places, whatever, stop talking. I'm gonna end the podcast now, making choices, everybody, and I hope you have a fabulous week. Goodbye.